In this video, I want to take a look at publishing applications using the Citrix App Center product. Now, we have to keep in mind that with this particular product, it is used as the primary management tool for the Citrix XenApp 6.5 product, not for the 7 or the 7.5. In XenApp and XenDesktop 7 and 7.5, we have Citrix Studio as your primary management tool. But just to show the difference in terms of management and application publishing, I want to take a quick look at using the Citrix App Center product to do that. I just want to focus on going through and publishing a simple installed application with Citrix App Center. So here we have the Citrix App Center application open. And keep in mind, of course, that you need to have the XenApp roles installed. And then when you start up the App Center application for the first time, it asks you to connect to the farm. So this is your primary management tool as far as your Citrix environment is concerned when you're in XenApp 6.5. So when we start up the App Center, we want to connect to our farm. You can run discovery. And notice there's a link there that allows you to configure and run discovery, so it discovers, the servers within your existing farm. When you expand the Citrix Resources node, there you'll see configuration tools that will give you access to some configuration options. In my particular case, I've just got hotfix management as the only option there. Then you'll see the XenApp node. And in the XenApp node, you need to connect to your XenApp farm if you haven't done so already. And here we can see the farm that I've set up. It's just called XenApp_farm. So when we expand that, here we see a number of nodes that allows us to be able to manage various aspects of our XenApp environment using the Citrix App Center. We want to focus on publishing applications. So to publish an application with this tool, you simply go into the Applications node. And in the Applications node, it'll show you the currently existing applications. It'll provide you with some additional information on the applications there as well. And there's a whole range of management options that's available to you. To publish an application, simply do a right mouse click on the Applications node, or you can go to the Actions menu. And from the Actions menu, you can select Publish Application. So when I click on Publish Application, I get the Publish Application wizard that comes up, and it's going to walk us through the process of configuring the application for publishing and availability. This is the welcome screen, and the welcome screen just gives you, a little indication of what it is it's going to take you through. When you click on the Next button, it asks for the display name. So if I'm going to create an application, then I want to identify it, and that's what display name is all about. And you put in a little description of the application. And in my case, I just want to put in, say there's a Citrix application, and of course, spelling it right would probably help. And then the application I'm going to be publishing here is simply Calculator because it's installed in the server, so it makes it rather simple to do. Then you have to choose the type of application you want to publish. The options available to you are Server Desktop. The Server Desktop option allows you to publish the application, but it gives the user access to a full-featured desktop on the server. Now, this you need to be careful with because you need to limit what users can access on the server. So it's basically similar to an RDP session. They can run the application within the session. The other option is Content. Content is used in situations where the application that you're publishing is simply a link to like a spreadsheet or a web page, or some data, something of that nature. Then there is application, which is what we're going to be using. And with the application, you can specify the application type. With the application type, you can specify that as access from a server, in which case you specify the server. But you can also set it up as a streamed application if possible. And a streamed application can be streamed to a server, or it can be streamed to the client, which means it's run from the server or from the client, depending on the configuration option that you set up for streaming. And then, of course, the stream to client option means that it's going to be pushed down to the client. All the application execution and processing is going to be done on the client as opposed to being done from a server. We're going to say access from a server for our illustration. Command line, here now is where you need to specify the executable for the application. And being able to browse to that location will certainly be helpful. If you know what it is, then you can certainly type it in there, of course. And I want to run calculator, and I know calculator is located in the system32, so there's the executable, and notice it populates the working directory. Now, if you know these values, you can type them in, then certainly go right ahead. Then you want to specify the servers that are going to be running it. Now, with respect to the servers, you can have multiple servers here, by the way. You can use a server group, and with the server group, it allows you to have some load balancing and distribution across all servers within the group. I've only got one server, so I certainly add my server called XenApp65 to the list and go OK. Now, you can also import from files. So if you have a bunch of servers, then within the management console, you can export a list of those servers to a list file, and then you can import the list of servers by using the import from files instead of having to go and select each one of the servers individually or the server groups. Then you specify the users option. With the users option, notice you can allow anonymous or you can allow only configured users. Now with configured users, you can select a directory type that you want to use. So simply clicking add, it allows you to browse, and you can browse and select your domain, which in my case is corp.local, or you can also use local as well. If I select XenApp65, it simply allows me to access local accounts on the XenApp server itself. And keep in mind, your XenApp server is not a domain controller, so the accounts located there have access to resources on that server only. Now, when you change the selector here, the Citrix selector provides you with the ability to access local accounts. If you use the operating system selector, then it will allow you to be able to access AD accounts. I'm going to use, for sake of simplicity, I'm just going to use anonymous here. And then you can specify the application icon, how it's going to look. You can specify the application folder you want to use. And then, of course, shortcuts. Where do you want to put the shortcut on the user? You can put it on the start menu. You can put it on the desktop as well. So either one of those. I'm just going to say put it on the client's desktop. And, of course, if you want to change the icon, then you can certainly do that as well. Actually, Citrix has a number of default icons that you can make use of as well if you want to. I'll simply go with the default for calculator in this case. Then go next, and then you can publish immediately. And with the publish immediately, you can specify if you want to disable it initially. So if you want to disable the application, giving you time to set up additional configuration options, and you can certainly do that. And then you can enable it through the application properties. And you can also specify additional advanced application settings as well. We won't go through that for sake of time at this point. But when you're done specifying those options, simply click on Finish. And there you have published an application through Citrix App Center, and then you can go in through the various properties of the application and configure additional options if you desire. And that's how you go through a process of publishing using App Center.